You ever think about how one tiny little mistake, something you barely even remember doing, could come back and just unravel your entire life? Well, that is exactly what we're diving into today. It's the story of Mohsin Sarati, an Indian expatriate whose whole world is about to collapse, all because of a single traffic ticket. Yeah, this line right here, it gets right to the point. We are not talking about a small fine or some minor headache. We're talking about the complete and total destruction of a person's ability to provide for their family. The stakes just could not be any higher. 25 years. Just let that sink in for a second. That's how long Mr. Sarati has been living and working in Kuwait. A quarter of a century building a career, a life, a stable future for his family. And right now, all of it is hanging by a single fragile thread. All right, so let's break down exactly what's happening. This isn't some far-off problem. For him, it's a crisis that's unfolding right now, and the clock is ticking, fast. I mean, just look at the contrast here. On one side, you have the life he's built, a long, solid career, a valid work permit, everything you need for a stable life. And on the other side, total catastrophe. We're talking about being forced to leave the country and then being permanently blacklisted, not just from Kuwait, but from every single Gulf nation. It's a complete erasure of his entire professional life abroad. So how in the world does a man with a stable career end up on the brink of deportation? The start of this whole mess is almost absurd. It's so simple. That's it. That's the thing that started it all. Not some major crime, just a common traffic mistake that probably happens 1,000 times a day. He was on a trip back home in Gujarat, riding a two-wheeler, and he got stopped for going on the wrong side of the road, a moment he probably forgot about 5 minutes after it happened. And this timeline just shows you perfectly how a problem can lie dormant and then suddenly just explode. So the violation happens in November 2024. For 9 months, silence, nothing. Then, August 2025, he applies to renew his passport. And bam, it's rejected. And now look at how tight these deadlines are. His work permit is up for extension in September, but he can't do that without a passport. And his current passport officially expires in January 2026. He is completely, totally trapped by the calendar. So this brings us to the real core of the problem. It's this bureaucratic chain reaction, where one tiny unresolved issue kicks off a cascade of just devastating consequences. Let's just trace how this all fell apart. So, this simple traffic violation leads to a criminal case. Mr. Sarati thinks his lawyer took care of it, so he goes back to Kuwait, completely unaware that the case is still open in a local court. Well, that pending case puts a red flag in the system next to his name. So when he goes to renew his passport, the Indian embassy sees the flag and denies the application. No passport means he can't renew his work permit in Kuwait, and no work permit means he gets deported. You see how the dominoes just fall, one after the other? Okay, so with all the bureaucratic doors slamming shut in his face, his only option left is to turn to the courts for help. And it's his family back in India that's leading that charge. His wife has filed a petition directly with the Gujarat High Court, and they're asking for some very specific things. They want the court to step in and legally cancel the embassy's rejection. They're also asking the court to order the passport office to issue him a new passport. They've even said they'd take a temporary one, whatever it takes to let him keep his job so he can eventually come back to India and face the case. And here's the crucial point they're making. He is not trying to hide from this. The petition makes it crystal clear that he had no idea the case was even pending until his passport was rejected. He is more than willing to cooperate. He's offered to join the trial through a video call or even fly back to appear in person. He wants to fix this, but the system itself has locked him out. So, why does this one person's story matter so much to the rest of us? Well, because it's a perfect and honestly terrifying example of a uniquely modern problem that could really affect any of us. You could call it a bureaucratic cascade. It's what happens when all of our interconnected digital systems, which are supposed to be efficient, turn one small human error into a life-changing crisis. And for expats like Mr. Sarati, who depend on all that paperwork flowing smoothly between countries, a single broken link in that chain, well, it can be absolutely catastrophic. And that really just leaves us with a final, pretty unsettling thought. Mr. Sarati's entire nightmare began with a traffic ticket he probably forgot about instantly. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What small, unresolved thing, a forgotten fine, an incorrect form, a pending query, might be sitting in a digital file somewhere with your name on it, just waiting for the right moment to trigger its own cascade?